everybody, this is it's Andy with the Matrix podcast. We're kind of breaking our series here to discuss important information about Microsoft and two-factor authentication. I'm joined by my co-host. We've decided to call him Scully. I don't know, but there he is. So the big news is that over the years, text-based multi-factor authentication for Office 365 is going away. Okay, that's bottom line up front. That's what's going to happen now, and that's just for Office 365. Now, other firms may follow suit, but it's for O365. Over the years, amongst all of our customers, we've had several different kinds. Some people have Authenticator app. Some people have a YubiKey, which is a USB key they stick in their computer, and that's their two-factor authentication. Problem with the YubiKey is if you lose it, even if you have a backup, it's going to be a little bit before you're back into your account. And text messaging or SMS is just kind of an easier way. It's the path of least resistance, right? You don't have to install an app. You can use your personal phone if you want. It's not a big deal. You just get a text message. So I'm just going to use that. And you can use it with a flip phone. But SMS is also vulnerable. I've got some notes this time. We don't really have a script because I felt like this was something we should be discussing. SMS is subject to a couple of problems, not the least of which is something called SIM swapping. So, or the theft of a virtual SIM where you can steal the SIM, basically clone it and put it in a different phone. I mean, you've seen this stuff on TV and the movies, right? It actually happens. It only happened about 1,000 times last year across the United States. And there's 300 million people, probably several hundred million of which have an active cell phone. So it doesn't happen all that often, but it does happen. SMS MFA is also subject to phishing, where you get an email, you click on a link, it pops up what looks to be a Microsoft website, and you put in your username and your password, you get a text message, you put that in, and now the bad guys have a key to your account. So that happens with some frequency. I think about 3 or 4 months ago, we were seeing one of those a week, at least in probably the first half of the year. Lately, it seems like it's slowed down some. People have learned not to do it. But for a lot of folks, it has been an expensive lesson. So what to do? The last problem is unreliable delivery of SMS messages. That happens. It seems to happen more with some providers than others. But so if you have an Authenticator app, you're okay. If you're using Microsoft Authenticator or some other authenticator with Office 365, that will continue to work. It's not being deprecated. If you have a YubiKey, which very few of our clients do, that will continue to work. And those are both what they call phishing resistant MFA. So it's not like you get a text message and you can put that into a bum website and they steal your Office account. With Authenticator, there's numbers matching Authenticator where it gives you a number and you have to put the number in the website. It isn't really, it's resistant. It's not perfect, but it's resistant. YubiKey is phishing resistant. YubiKey takes a little bit of setting up, like I mentioned, and if you lose it, it's a major inconvenience. But the way that the Microsoft system has been set up, the newer system is called passkeys. Now, you might have seen these from some websites. They urge you, instead of using username, password, and SMS, to just use a passkey. Now, a passkey It's a little difficult to explain, but it's kind of cryptography. When the website says, look, let's set up a passkey, and you agree, it gives you part of a digital key, and it keeps the other part of the digital key. And those two keys, when you go to that website, it'll send a request to your computer. It says, do you have the other part of this key? And your computer will say yes. And it does not send the key. It just signs the response. So that's phishing resistant. It's normally secured by a PIN. So it's a lot easier, but it can be, most users, especially home users, those passkeys are bound to, unless you're using some sort of password manager, they're bound to that computer. So if you lose your home laptop or whatever, it can be a major inconvenience. If you lose the device, you've lost your key. You know, like the keys to your house. If you've lost them, they're just lost. Door's still locked. So that's what's really important to know. Why is it important? Well, Microsoft's going to turn off SMS February 1st next year. So there's no stretching it. The initial part of this starts September 1st. So once users who have SMS, they'll be prompted to set up a passkey starting sometime in September. And they can delay it. As I understand it, I've not seen it yet. They can delay it, but the absolute end of SMS for multi-factor authentication is February 1st. So, we can help get apps set up for everybody, authenticator apps, or we can set up these passkeys. We can configure them to work with password vaults so that they aren't tied to the device. We can do any number of things, and we'll be reaching out to everybody to talk about this. But I wanted to do a quick podcast just to explain to everybody what this has looked like. You might have read about it in the news. We just wanted to make sure that all of our clients were up to speed on this. So what happens? Are there other ways to configure SMS to work with O365? There are. You'd have to set up a separate provider. It looks like a lot of jumping through hoops. I wouldn't recommend it. So you have several months to kind of sort this, but you can bet that the folks out there that have to deal with cyber insurance, stuff like that, that this will become a question. How are you securing? What MFA are you using for Office 365? Because text messages are going away. So I just wanted to do a quick podcast on that. If you want, email me Andy@matrixcc.net if you're a client, and we'll take a look at the state of your MFA. I mean, we're going to do it anyways, and you're going to get a call from us if there are problems, because we would prefer to do this orderly. So that's pretty much all I have. And I know it's a big deal, and for some people, it's going to be uncomfortable, especially the folks that use SMS or voice. This impacts both for multi-factor authentication, but this change is inevitable. It's been coming for a long time. So I just wanted to jump on here real quick and get that in front of everybody, and we'll be reaching out to you. Thanks.